there, my name is Samuel and welcome back to another video, and today we should be taking a look at the set 7175600 bounty, which does include 1159 pieces, and this for the first time in a very long time does include all 6 of the ninja in their newest suits, though these 2 are technically not canon, and this did retail for €140, $130 and £120, which it's really weird how the price has gone kind of the wrong way, like it isn't exactly equaled out exactly, but yeah, this set, honestly, this is such a surprise. When I heard, as I said in the unboxing, but this is another bounty, it's like, seriously, another one? I thought they'd had this out. No, this is absolutely just completely different, and the minifigures are different. Just everything is so good. You get the like, villain build, you get the chariot, you get the 2 pods, which sadly Lloyd shouldn't be here because it is inaccurate, and then to make it even better, you get these like little woo bots. So yeah, this set, honestly, is really awesome. So let's start off by taking a look at the minifigures, then we'll move on to the cyborgs. So starting off with the minifigures. So taking a look at all 6 of the ninja, you can see what they look like, which the weirdest thing is that they literally have never been all together, I think, since the Temple of Enjitsu in their most recent outfit, and you can see with all their breathing apparatus and their like little flippers and everything. I think these suits honestly look really awesome. So then if we quickly flip them all around, you can see that they all have the breathing apparatus piece, but they also have their sword in there because it is a sword holder, which I think that is a really awesome idea, don't get me wrong, but it really isn't accurate, but I will stop moaning about accuracy. So yeah, that's what they look like. Now let's quickly remove all of their armor and helmets. First off, you can see what Nia looks like, which is such a disappointment. Why does she not have her hair? Considering that Nia is the main character of the season, it really makes sense that she should have hers at least. But there you can see Nia's printing, which will take a bit more time to look at, and she's only in this set. So yeah, there you can see what she looks like, which honestly I think that looks really awesome. You can see her face printing, her back printing. I think that she has definitely got the best suit. I don't know, I like the little part in the middle, it just really fits Nia's vibe. And there you can see her weapon. Then moving on over to Jay and Lloyd, you can see what they look like, which honestly they look really cool. We'll take a better look at Jay in the sub and Lloyd in the mech, but there you can see Jay, which I think is pretty cool. There you can see he really isn't happy, which that facial expression really works for this scene. And there you can see his leg printing, which originally didn't work because he's really cheerful, but it all does sort of change. And there you can see the zipper, which is pretty cool, and he does have his hairpiece. Then Lloyd here, you can see with this, honestly, this I think is one of my like favorite ones of Lloyd's suits in general. It just looks really cool. The way it's got his like padding, his armor and everything looks a bit like samurai, but there you can see that, which honestly it looks pretty cool. It has the zipper on the back. And then Zane, I'm not as keen on him as the other 3. That's why I sort of put him as the 4th one, but there you can see what he looks like, which he looks pretty angry, and he has his like hardcore thing. And I love the fact that they actually do confirm he can breathe underwater, as Pixel did confirm that basically he just wants to join in with all the suits. And then here you can see Kai, which you didn't even get to see Kai's in the show, which is really annoying, because then that means my minifigure display is going to sort of be out, which I actually don't mind that though, getting these minifigures, because at least I can see what it would have looked like. And I was really hoping in the final battle to at least wear it for like at least a second. But there you can see Kai, which is really awesome. Then you can see Cole, which will hopefully take a better look in Jay's set as well. But yeah, there you can see that with the back printing and everything, which I don't get. There's actually no zipper for his, so his is maybe like a pullover. So yeah, there you can see that, which I think is awesome. And I love the fact that he has like a drill harpoon. So those are all of the minifigures, which then before taking a look at the villains of the set, we've got these 2 Woobots, which these basically are the bombs that I believe Pixel uses around episode 3, I want to say. There you can see that sort of reminds me of TV from the Lego Hidden Side on the theme that came before it with that. So yeah, I think this is a really nice one. It has a stud on top with that, which I think is pretty awesome. So yeah, those are the minifigures. Now let's go on to the bad guys of the set, which is then taking a look at King Kalmar here on the left, which they have labelled him as Prince Kalmar. And I do believe when he comes king, he does remove his shoulder pad. So technically, you can have 2 variants of him, but starting off with him, I'll take a look at the Murray Guard in a minute. You can see that he has his trident, which that sadly doesn't have any translucent red elements, which I think is really disappointing. And there you can see Kalmar printing. And if we quickly remove his armor, there you can see what he looks like, which that printing, honestly, I think is absolutely incredible. And there you can see the back, which sort of reminds me of Heart with like the little parts at the bottom. And then there you can see his leg piece, which has a 2x4 attachment. That is how you put him on his chariot. And then if we put on his headpiece, you can see what it looks like, which honestly, that headpiece I think is absolutely incredible. The detailing on this is insane. The eyes sort of are the wrong colour, they're meant to be yellow, but nevertheless I still think it looks okay. And there you can see just the head moulding is honestly really awesome. Like when I saw the leaked version, I thought this would be awesome, but this minifigure is by far one of my favourite of the year. Which then finally, taking a look at the final minifigure, this is the Murray Guard, which are they Hydra whippers like some of them they are, some of them they're not. It's a bit annoying, but anyway, there you can see that with his weapon, which I think looks really cool, but none of them actually have flippers. And that's the side note I wanted to say, none of their minifigures should have flippers, not even a ninja, so it's kind of disappointing. I will do a video on that. Stay tuned, I'm going to do a video on the ninja, how to make them accurate, because Jay has actually got inaccurate hands. But there you can see that, which I think is pretty cool. And then just taking a look at the printing and his head, which the head, honestly, I was really happy to see but it wasn't translucent, because I always thought my issue was with these, I just thought that these were going to be so similar to the Pyro Whippers, but thankfully they're not. Like, honestly, it's so much better, the Pyro Vipers and all of them. So yeah, there you can see his printing, which looks really awesome. So yeah, those are all the minifigures are set. Now let's go on to the chariot build. So starting off with Helm's little chariot build here, you can see it's quite a long build. It's actually quite hard to get in focus due to just how long it is. So starting off at the front, you can see that we have this like stingray, which that is such a nice print. You can see all like the details and everything. I think it's done really well. It just looks, I would say, just really nicely done. Like, it was one of those things that I kind of didn't originally like when I looked at the set, you know, all occupied by looking at the figures and all the builds. I didn't exactly see it at first, so man, I did. So I was like, wow, that's a really neat surprise. Then you can see that we have these little parts at the front, and then you attach it on the back, two studs like that. And moving up the chariot, he has that angled piece, which we've seen so many times, especially for chariot builds. And you got the reins, which the funny thing is that they don't exactly connect to him like I just showed you, but still, it looks really cool. And then moving over to here, you can see that we have the Kalmar, and removing him, which I've already spoken about him, you can see what we have here. It's a really nice little area, which you can see we've got these nice two stickers there, you can see, but they look like the detailing, I think, is really nice on them. We have flags, which for once they actually don't have printing on, which is really good, because when you're like applying the stickers, it's absolutely just chaos when you got two of them. But yeah, there you can see the flags, which I think are done really well, and Kalmar does fit on those two studs absolutely fine. Like, it's really good, but the fact they put him in there and he does fit perfectly. So yeah, that's a little chariot build. I think that he's done really well. So yeah, now let's move on to the little pods for the ninja. So here we have Lloyd and Cole's pod, which Lloyd sadly is actually inaccurate in the final battle. I'm not going to say too much, but the fact that Lloyd actually doesn't have it, instead he's using the Hydro Mech, and there you can see that now putting it on the ring lights, which, apologies, you can see their reflection. So let's start off with Lloyd, as he is like the inaccurate one, which, apologies, I think I might have actually said it was Cole's the other day, which I don't know why I said that, because it isn't, but it took me a second to realise that. So starting off with Lloyd, you can see he has sand green, and straight off the bat you can see a glaring issue for a submarine, can't you? Yeah, there's literally a hole right there. I don't get that. Why would they have a hole? Like, I don't get the logic. It's like if they did a pirate ship but they missed out the sail. It just doesn't make sense. It's just such a glaring issue that I don't get exactly what the designers were thinking. Nevertheless, I still think this is a really neat build. There you can see that sticker as well. Like, it's still done really well, but there you can see some marks, which sadly, those marks are always on translucent pieces. I really want to write an email to Lego. Like, they need to be put in plastic bags, don't they, at some point? And there you can see a Lloyd who fits in there pretty nicely, and you can see his seat and everything. So there's a pod, which this one I will most probably put away because it's inaccurate, and really for space and all of that, it mostly doesn't need to be in there. And then moving on over to Cole's. Now this obviously is got to be better due to the fact that this is the accurate one. Now I've got that part correct. There you can see the printing on the side, which I think looks really neat. It's pretty well done. It's, sorry about the glare again, it's black, like the light is reflecting and refracting off of it, but there you can see that, which I think is cool. There you can see the bottom, and there you can see the top again with the windshield, which I believe that's a new colour. It originally was in gold and like the sort of like the grey smoky kind of colour. So yeah, they've changed it, which is really neat. And there you can see Colin there, which he does fit with his breathing apparatus, but it does move it up a little bit more, which is kind of annoying because it's like, well, you know, he's gonna still drown, so I don't get the logic in that. But anyway, there you can see the interior. So yeah, these little pods I think are really cool. It has like the little harpoon parts on the front, and Lloyd has like the arrow ones. So yeah, this is really awesome. So now let's take a look at the submarine itself. So starting off, taking a look at the actual Hydro Bounty itself, at like the whole event for this set is absolutely humongous. Like, you are seriously gonna need some long space to fit it, because yeah, it is absolutely massive. You can see here, and that side is a lot bigger and wider. So yeah, definitely fitting this set is gonna be a nightmare. So starting off in the middle, you can see that we have this 2x2 circular print of it, which this is the one that came in the Juniors 4 Plus set from last year. And moving on down, you can see that we have this fin, which this fin is always in this, like, the way it just, it keeps knocking things over, like you saw in the background. Looking at the front of the ship, you can see what it looks like here, which this view is absolutely just incredible. Just like the way it just, it looks so good when you look at it that way. Then looking at the front, you can see this little area, which you can see a figure in there, which I will show that in a minute, because there is also a transforming feature that actually turns into a mech. You can then see you have that sticker there, which I think looks really cool. You then have like the new golden weapon piece, which is really nice to see. You then have like the little spring-loaded shooter, which I think is cool. If you want to press it down, you just press it inwards towards the ship, and it does that. You can see how it's at an angle. You can slightly see some technique there, but that really isn't a problem. Then moving up, you can see this other part, which isn't meant to be a seat, but you can actually put a figure there if you wish to, which you technically could if you wanted to like reenact some of the fight scenes from the show. Then moving around to this side of the front, this is literally just the same way some more Ninjago writing. I presume it maybe says Hydro Bounty or something along the lines of that. You can see see a bit more of the Technic in there. You can see that element. And then moving on down, you've got this. I really love this detail. This is so accurate to the show. And the fact that how accurate this is makes it even more the better. You can see a bit, we've got all these tiles and everything, which is really just rounded off so nice. And down here, you can see that we have got a sticker, which it's kind of a shame that they've left a hole there, but it really isn't a problem. It really makes up for it with the ability. But there you can see the sticker, which looks really good. And there you can see the engine, which the engine is done really nice. Though one issue I've had with the engine is that when you try and move it, yeah, it does actually move. And when I mean like you move the whole bounty, it can move, which is kind of annoying because you want the orientation to stay completely correct, which it has meant to have the gap at the top. Then looking at the engine, you can see that there is this really nice sticker which you get 4 of these in the set. You get one of those blades, which, yeah, these blades are quite annoying because they're so big and they end up knocking things around. You can then see that we have some windows here, which are done really nice. And then you can see that we have that little arrowhead for the side of the ship. You can see that we have this little roof element. And then moving on, you can then see we have this Technic beam, which that is to do with the play feature later on. You've then got the back of the ship, which the back honestly looks really good. Yeah, you've got this poking out, but that for the play feature actually looks really good. You've then got the 2 engines to the side, the left and the right hand side, and then again you can see the sticker, so that is really awesome. And then if you want to see a look at the little banner here, this is translucent, so it's a bit hard to have a look at, but yeah, I think this is really nice. Again, it's kind of weird that they keep using that symbol, but I guess that's like a new logo, like a team logo, which I guess is kind of good because the Ninja team have never like necessarily had their own logo. And there you can see the window and the other part, which that is done using some snot techniques, which is does not on top, that is when that on the side. And there you can see that going round, which is really cool. But moving on over to here, you can see that this is the massive cargo area. Now this is really awesome. You can see that we have 2 clips here. So then the idea is that you can sort of decide what you want to put in here. You've got a large enough space, and yeah, literally you can put anything. It is absolutely massive, and it goes all the way back down there. So for example, if you want to do that, you can put a pod in there. That looks really awesome. Do you want to put 2 pods in it? Yeah, you can go and put 2 pods in it, which is a lot harder than it seems. It really shouldn't be that hard, but yeah, you can see it does pop things off, and just trying to get it in there, it doesn't exactly fit. It's because of the hinges. You have to like sort of wiggle it around, but then doing so, you're going to knock pieces off, things are going to go flying and stuff like that. So I think for a kid, I definitely think this could be an issue. And for a 9-year-old, I still think this could be potentially an issue, so that is definitely something to watch out for if you're considering buying it for a younger person. But yeah, the interior looks really awesome, and you actually can shut the roof with them, which is really cool. And I like the fact that you technically can fit at least a character in between, which is really good. And then if we remove this, which again, trying to get it out, you have to like really wiggle it and be really careful. You can then see that we have 2 hooks here, and then down here we have all of this space, which this is absolutely incredible. And the fact that we've got so much space, you get a couple of these crates, there's literally nothing in it. It's literally just what it is. There's like nothing there. You can simply just slide it down the back, which I think is really cool. And if you wanted to add the second one, you could. It's really cool, but you can do that, and maybe you can attach it in there if you wanted to. So yeah, that I think is just a really awesome idea. But the fact that you can like attach that and put them down there, and then down here you can see we have a couple of jumper studs, which the idea for these, well, really you can put anything but a crate, you can put a minifigure, you can put this down here. This is actually a little thing for their accessories, for the helmets and all of that, which is really cool. And their harpoons can actually go on these like 6 hooks, which I think is done really nicely. And then you can see we have 2 more at the end, which yeah, the interior is absolutely fantastic. That is one thing I can't praise more. Yeah, it doesn't have the most detail. I'm not exactly worried about that. Yeah, it would have been good for some stickers, I'm not going to lie. But the fact that you can put the minifigures in there, and you easily could fit all of these Masako, Pixel, Dareth, you know what I mean? You could really stack these up. Benthamar, you could really fill this interior up, which I think is really good. And then again, there's some better look at the side decaling. So yeah, that is what that area looks like. And then taking a look at the helm of the ship, you can see what it looks like there. This is done really well. So you can see, first you can see we have a telescope, which I think that is a really nice but simple build. I love it when they go add those telescopes. It just looks really cool. And what you can do, you can simply lift up this roof and you can look inside. So yeah, that looks really cool. And you're wondering, can you get inside? So what you can do, you can simply just put your finger in and pull the roof off. It's done really well. And then yeah, it's not the most accurate thing, but nevertheless, it's still done really well. So taking a look at the interior, you can see that we have these seats. So looking at the back one, we have a back seat for maybe Jay, that like Jay and Neo moment when they're looking out to the ocean, which I think is done really nice. You can then see we have a couple of control panels. There you can see that we have a couple of control panels, which I think that just looks really nice. nice. You can see we have the helm, we have like the compass, and we just have all of this. Yeah, the detailing, it definitely should be on the side, not in the front. I still think it's really cool. And then again, you can see that we have the little seat part at the back, which, yeah, you can add all four of the ninja sitting in here, which is really cool. Though it's a shame that Zane actually can't properly fit, and even with his hairpiece, I don't believe he would fit because of the stud and like the height. So yeah, it's kind of a shame, and you can put him the other way, face him the other way. But then one big issue is that, so you can fit all four of these, that looks really cool. But what about Pixel? She sadly and weirdly was not included in his set. So if kids want to get Pixel and put her like role play with all of this, how are they going to do it? It's not going to work. And even for collectors like me, I won't display them in there. But what if I did want to display? I can't put them all in there, which is kind of a shame that they can't fit them in there. Yeah, you can fit it in elsewhere, like you can put it in here, for example. But it's just a shame that you can't, because that is still quite an important area. So yeah, that is what that looks like. I think that's done really nice, and that's what this area looks like. And you can see how to guide it. So at the front you have that 2x2, and you simply can just slot it on like that. And there we go. That is what it looks like. I think that looks really cool. You can sort of like see all the ninja in there, not too well though. So yeah, that is what this looks like. I think that looks really awesome. Again, there you can see that engine. So now let's quickly have a look at the engine feature. These are the engines to propel it forward. You can see that there are two pieces string. You've got one over here and you've got one over here. And then you have the Technic rods, which I pointed out earlier. You then have to really lift it off the ground. And you can see this element here. And you simply just pull this forward like that. And it, as you can see, it brings around the engines, like absolutely expands them out, which it looks really good from afar. So if we then move this around, you can see what it looks like. That is how it's done. You simply just move it out. And it's really hard. I have to admit, it's not the easiest mechanism, because you have to try and be able to like get a grip of it. And doing that is a lot easier said than done. And then if you want to go and put it back, what you can simply do, you literally move that in, and you move both of them in and conjoin. They end up bringing the whole mechanism in, which I think is done really well. So then if you want to see it again from this angle, you simply do it like that, and it expands them, which I think just looks really awesome. Like, I would want to display it like that, but due to the size, it is really hard to display it like that. So yeah, that is what the engines look like. And again, that does move a little bit when you do it. But yeah, I think it looks okay. And if you want a closer look, that is what the mechanism looks like. I think it looks really neat. Which you then take a look at the front, you can see that we have this area, which this looks, as you can see, a bit of Technic. It looks like there could be something there, and like I said, there is. So what you do, you can get one of these Woobots, you can sit him on down in here, and the idea is, and if you don't know, as a side note, Woobot are actually like the little explosive Pixel uses in episode 3. You can then see that he's in there nicely, and what you simply do, you just pull off like the whole front of this, and this actually does reveal a bit more detail on the ship. You can see that we have this like really nice area that they actually could have kept blank, so the fact that they didn't, I think, is really nice. But then taking a look at this, what on earth is this that you think? And this just looks like a hodgepodge at the minute. You can't really tell. It just looks like a jumble of pieces. But in fact, that this is actually a robot. So what you can simply do, you can just start unfolding the elements. So you can see that we have some legs here, and then you can see that we have some arms. And then after you do it a bit, you can start to see that we've actually got like this whole robot hidden on the inside. Then you can see that we have his feet. You can then start transforming his feet out, which you can see that he has used as a base. And then there you can see that we have this little robot. You can see that we have the arms and everything, which I think this is done really nice. And then if you want, you can put that down. It's recommended you keep it up, but you could put it down if you wanted to see inside or wanted a robot. So yeah, the fact that you can do that, I think, is just absolutely incredible. And then moving on down, you can see the arm and everything. So yeah, it's a really clever mechanism. Like, it's the last thing you build, which is quite surprising. I have to admit, it's not as bad as I thought. Like, I didn't exactly like the idea. I was like, yeah, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but the fact that it doesn't make sense in the show, you know, I'm kind of about canon and all of that, so I was a bit like, what is this? But no, this genuinely is really awesome. Then if you want to move that up, you can then see what this looks like, which I think that sticker looks really nice down there. And yeah, that's basically what you can do with this. You can convert it, which I think is a really awesome feature. And then to convert it back, you start off by spinning it around, and then you have to get all of these limbs back into the position. You have to clip these elements down, which yeah, I think it's really cool the way they've done. And these golden katana pieces, which they've used quite a lot in Ninjago, it's cool to see that they've actually given it like a completely different purpose. And then there you can see that that did pop off, which is a bit annoying, but then there you can simply see that that is mainly back into shape, which then what you simply do, you just clip it back on. And if you want to know how you clip it on, you have to do the top clip, so you don't use the bottom one, you attach it by the top, and then you simply have to realign it, which is a bit easier said than done, because sometimes it wants to align and then sometimes it doesn't. But there you can see that we have that aligned there, and yeah, sometimes it gets at a bit weird angle, so you do have to play around with it, which which I will do for the outro. So yeah, there we have it. This is the Hydra Bounty. I think this honestly is just such an incredible model. This is by far one of my favourite, and I was like comparing other sets and just thinking, is it one of my favourite Ninjago sets? I definitely think it is. This honestly is just such an incredible set. Like, it is just really, really well done. And there you can see that sticker on that side as well. So yeah, that is the Hydra Bounty. Now let's quickly look at some little side builds and then go on to the outro of this video. We should then take a look at the two little crates here. You can see, but these literally do nothing. I've looked on lego.com, I've looked in the manual, I've looked everywhere. I don't know what these are for. So yeah, these I believe actually are just for like their equipment, for all the Hydra equipment. Like, that is the only reason I could save these. And then this actually isn't for their helmet, it's literally for their hair pieces, which this I don't think looks that good like that. It just doesn't work for me. And their hair pieces are way too dark. So if you look at it, Jay has got like more lighter hair now. So then there you can see what Zane's helmet looks like that, which I did try and attach the actual full piece. It doesn't actually work. So that is kind of annoying. Which then moving on down, you can see we have the water amulet with all the glitter and everything. This is absolutely incredible. This piece I think is done really, really well. You can just see on the glitter effect and everything, that is just done absolutely incredible. That is, it's just such a really good piece. So yeah, that is what that one looks like. Now let's go on to my final thoughts on this incredible set. So there we have it. I hope you did enjoy this review. And yeah, this set I honestly think is absolutely incredible. Like I keep restating, the fact that this was another bounty set, I was like, seriously, are we going down this path again? But no, this is completely different. On the interior, it's got more interior space. Yes, it doesn't have as much detail as, for example, stuff like the lamb bounty and stuff like that, but it still has a lot more just like size. It's such a long set, and it's like quite a lot of dense, a lot of quality and like quantity to this set, which is really good to see. But then the minifigures are fantastic. They're a bit annoying with Jay hands, but then Nia getting her as she is exclusive is really cool. But it's a shame that she's the main character. This suit really should have been in 2 or 3 of the sets, really, including that one. She should have been at least 4 of the sets. That's sort of how it typically goes for the main character. But yeah, this is really awesome. Kalmar is definitely one of my favorite minifigures. Like I've said, it's great getting him for the first time for me. The translucent part move for his staff would have been much better. The chariot, just everything is just really done. Though we could have like knocked it down by £5, not getting rid of that. But yeah, discluding that, this is absolutely incredible. I love the feature here. I think the wings are done really well. And yeah, I think this is a fantastic set. And if you like what you see here, I feel like this really is a set for you. The transforming feature, I think it's okay, but personally, I'm never going to use it, so it's not really going to make a difference. So yeah, that is what I think of this set. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click the subscribe button. We've got a lot more reviews coming out soon. The Fire Dragon should be coming out within the next couple hours from the time you're watching this. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. And until the Fire Dragon, I'll see you there. Bye for now.